Greetings and welcome to another excellent World of Tanks video. Now, I've been working on toy tanks, and I thought I'm going to give you guys the results of analysis that I did when I was having a discussion, because I couldn't remember the exact numbers, and I thought, well, you know, instead of remembering the numbers, exact or otherwise, I'm going to manufacture them in a video so you can look at it for yourself and not have to take anyone's word for it, but look at the physical numbers and see for yourself what's the dealio. So the thing that we're going to cover is real simple. What's the most efficient way to build commander points? Now, the result we've already seen is that toy tanks with boosters is the #1 way. However, what if you don't have boosters? That's the key, because a lot of people don't have boosters. And the thing is, it becomes a juggling act on what variables are the most important. What tank you're using, what kind of commander you have, what vehicle you're going to use. It's these different variables that come into play. How fast are your matches is a key one. And that's really the one that kind of really cements the solution. So, before I show you any numbers, it would help if you could possibly leave a like or subscribe for this video. Those are the things that help the most. And the best part about them, they're absolutely free, and that means Mr. Krabs will be happy. I like money. So now I'm going to show you the results of games so you can see for yourself. So I was having a discussion with Bernie, and what came up was, okay, played toy tanks, no boosters. Lost a game, had a good result in the match. 6,500 is a good damage result. Above average, really. 6 kills, well above average. In a loss, 8,000 commander experience. That's all we're caring about at this moment. All right. You can look at the other stats and for features, what have you. All that this discussion really concerns is commander points. So that's 8,000 in a loss. The next game I played on toy tanks was a win, luckily for me. Again, 5 kills, above average. 10,000, well above average. But less than double. I was shocked to see 15,000 commander points, because I expected to get basically double or more than the previous game, because I scored more points, and key factor is a win. But apparently that wasn't the deal. So there might be that 6th kill might be one of those things where there's a bonus when you get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kills. That I don't know, because I haven't tested that intricately. That would take a lot of matches, and it's going to eat a lot of time. But essentially, to keep it simple, similar-ish games. 6 kills, 6,500 damage, with a loss, 8,000. 5 kills of 10,000 damage, and a win, almost double, okay, at 15,000. But we're going to keep it simple and say good score, lose, and then good score, win. You're getting about double, just to make it simple, okay? It's not rocket science, and let's not make it like we're NASA over here trying to, you know, figure out all the numbers down to the tiniest detail. We're not. Keep it simple. Don't make it a federal case. Then for comparison, I was like, well, you know, I thought that the numbers were low. And actually, it turns out they were not low. Well, or they were relative to this game. Now, this one was, again, standard 38H Commander, no boosters, just play, win or lose, score whatever you score, and I'll tell you what happened for me. As you can see, I only killed one guy. It was 2 people versus 2 people, and we each had 5 droids on our teams. So it was basically 2 people versus 2 people. And in that game, we won. I got 1 kill, 741 damage. Now, for me, that's below average on my commander scoring matches, but that's okay. It's close to average. It's on the lowest end of nearly average. So we're going to call that low average. The range would be like 700 to like 1,300 ballpark. So 1,000 plus or minus 300, we hit that. Okay, we'll call that low end of average. So what you see here, 14,000 on a win. Now, I was talking to Bernie. I said, normally I get 10 to 12. Now, this was the first 38H game of the day, so I got the bonus. And the same thing happened on the toy tank. That was the bonus that you saw. So maybe they give you the bonus on there, the red stripe bonus. So that would explain why the 8,000 score for the first toy tank game was 8,000 when it would be a little bit less normally. At least that's my estimation. And that would explain it here because 14,000 was awfully high relative. I do this all the time. That's why I know that this number seems high to me. And first win of the game would probably explain it. Because it should be in this neighborhood 10,000-ish, okay? So this one is a little high. And the other ones, okay, they're all reasonable. So the thing is, what we have to say, actually the first game of Toy Tanks was a loss. The 8,000 point game was a loss. It was the 15,000 point game that was the first win. So it should have been higher. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But, so when you look at it, for a tier 2 game to generate 14,000, that is insanity. All right? Because the Toy Tank games are tier 9s. Right there in front of your face. Tier 9. That generated 15,000 on the win. Okay, now let's go look at something else. And this is important. All right, first game, loss. 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Second Toy Tank game, win. 3 minutes, 38 seconds, and basically the same amount of time. Both under 4 minutes. 38H. Same time, almost exactly. 3 minutes, 50 seconds, so 10 seconds longer, whatever. Basically speaking, these are the same ballpark of 3 minutes and 40 to 3 minutes and 50 seconds each. So that's, a great combo that lucked out. So you had the same time amount for either version. And it's going to vary, of course, for each one. We're looking, but the ballpark average is what you're seeing. This is normal. Low 4 minute, plus or minus, whatever. So what it boils down to is that if you do not have boosters for your commanders, it seems that there's little difference for Toy Tanks versus 38H. Now, that's, they're very similar. They are slightly different, and the Toy Tank numbers are slightly better. And this is just a really good, quickie, random observation with actual stats here. So it does say, technically, we did get 15,000 on a win in Toy Tank, and we did get 14,000 on a win, same time period for 38H. So what it boils down to, it was 1,000 points different. Now, it is different. However, there is another attribute or feature that we have to look at. What is your skill level in each of these two tanks? That is one of the key variables. If you're better in one of them than the other, then that one is your better choice. Now, for myself, I'm actually better in 38H than I am in the toy tanks. I'm a very good toy tank player, which you saw. But I'm much better in the 38H, and I'm an actual monster in that tank. So I'm just giving you my personal evaluation of my personal skills. That as good as the score that you saw, that 10,000 point game, I do get those from time to time, but not as consistently. But I will consistently cross the 1,000 point of damage mark in a 38H. Now that was that was 2 humans, not 1. Normally it's 1 guy, me, and I'm cleaning every clock that I see. So my ability to run the table in 38H makes me a more efficient 38H scorer than most people, and by a large margin. So that's, special skills mean my 38H is better than my toy tank in general. However, in the toy tanks, I play those primarily with boosters. But if I don't play it with boosters, it's still slightly better for me to play toy tanks. Even though, as you could see in this game, with a low-end average, 741 damage, I scored really high in this game. So I'm telling you that my math knowledge helps me to make the analysis here that even though I am much better and more feared as a 38H player, I'm going to do slightly better in the toy tanks. Now that just is going to depend. I have no way to put a number on, on a scale of 10. What am I on toy tanks? I don't know. I know that whatever that number would be, let's say I'm a 6 in toy tanks, okay, on the scale of 10. Well, in 38H, I'd be much higher, 7, 8, 9, in that vicinity. I would be substantially higher in the 38H. But even for myself, with those kind of ballpark numbers, okay, it still says, the analysis still says for me to play toy tanks because I'm going to cash more. Now, as Bernie was quick to point out, and when I was talking to him about this, and this is why I do this, I talk to people who are knowledgeable, because I don't sit around, in my ivory tower postulating concepts and then congratulating myself on my genius. That doesn't get you anywhere. What that gets you is wrong. Okay, you have to have interaction. You need to have a comparison that someone who has experience can give you and say, okay, I like this part of what you're saying on your observation and analysis, but what about X, Y, or Z? And so I talked to Bernie, and the first thing out of his mouth, it was hilarious, but he hit it instantly, literally within a second or two. Well, what about the prizes? I'm like, oh, well, of course, So the thing is, you go through those prizes. This is the ×2 silver booster. This is the ×3 vehicle booster. This is the ×4 commander booster. This one is the 60,000 silver. And the last one I'm going to show you is this one, the 100,000 silver drop. Now, one of the things also is that I have made a lot of 9-skill commanders. And I'm going to show you the results. Again, this is Friday, December 29th. Oh, that's not the right way. This is the right way. Oops, let's do it this way. Here, okay. Okay. Now, originally, at the start of Toy Tanks, I had 9 commanders that had 9 skills. Full commanders. That number, as you can see now, is 24. I worked on some other commanders that were low and brought them up 2 or 3 skills. Primarily my French commanders were low. So now my French commanders are all 7s or higher, which is fine. Because really 7 skill commanders are quite valuable. So it's not about all 9s. Everybody's different. Whatever you can do. If you're just bringing up all your guys to 6s, man, that would be really good. So it's all personal with what you need, what you can do, what your attributes were available to get you there. But now you see this one here, this Vic Rattlehead. He's got a couple of skills left over because I haven't decided exactly what I was going to put on there, and I just figured I'll worry about it later. This is not the time to sit around for an hour to figure out what's the right one. This is the time to take that time and max out commander scoring and then come back and fill in the gaps. This one, I've just, left him blank. It doesn't matter to me. So this is the second one, right? And then this is the third, yes. So that's the dealio. And then this is, this is the General MacArthur. This is the General Rommel. These are butt kickers, okay? Now I have some other guys on here like this. I need to, what things I'm going to move. Again, it doesn't matter about moving them right now. This Knight tank has the 3-star General Montgomery. Well, he's not going to stay there because I'm going to use his 3 stars in a different British tank. I'm just going to swap him to another British commander 1-star. The only guys that are staying as 3 stars or whatever, my Weasel commander, that's Coach Ditka. So he is there for his looks. My Armadillo commander, he's there in the G.I. Joe Armadillo because he's the most G.I. Joe looking 3D commander that I have. He was better than the G.I. Joe commanders. So he stays. But these guys, now Death Chariot is the Grim Reaper. It doesn't matter. He stays because he's Grim Reaper is stuck 3 stars. There's nothing you can do. I'm still building. Well, actually, I'm not building. I'm going to swap this dude out. This is my Russian artillery. I got to swap this dude out. This guy is there for his hat. So he's in my T-41E1 and he's not going anywhere. Again, she was in there to build up commanders, so she's going to get swapped out. Same thing with her. Same thing with her. They're going to be swapped out. She might stay as my BMP commander. I haven't decided. It doesn't really matter. I got plenty of 3-star commanders. My Vic is going to be swapped out. 3-star German builder. So the rest of these pretty much, again, Patton, he's a legendary general, so he stays. He's in my Jumbo Sherman that has the Lady Luck picture on the side. So he stays as a 3-star. He's moving as well. So I'm not wasting 3 stars as a general rule. But certain characters go with certain tanks, like the Death Chariot goes with the Grim Reaper. And that is his vehicle, and that stays as such. All right, so that's, what I'm getting at. But like I said, I have increased my stash from 9 to 24, which is very good. I'm not complaining at all. What do we have on the 8s? And my stash of 8 commanders, 8 skill commanders has dwindled because that's where I got most of these that I made 9s. I did make a couple of other guys into 9s, but for the most part I was taking 8s and turning them into 9s. But I don't have enough boosters to do all of these, and I don't have enough time to get them all, which is okay. It doesn't really matter. Some of these guys are long-haul tank commanders, like the Thresher. My Pirate was, I guess you already moved him. But the Martyr is another one that I will build him up to 9 in the Martyr during long hauls. And that's what they do. So it's all good in that regard. That pretty much covers all of those. This gives you the idea of what kind of success I've had in moving my commanders around. Now, as you see, I'm using Mrs. Claus because she's a 3-star, 30% bonus. And, you know, I just swapped out one of my 3-slot commanders, put her here, and I was going to build it up to a 6 or a 7 or whatever it is. Because it just, you know, each 9th skill is tough with 1.5 million points. It takes, with times 8 boosters, it takes over an hour to max it out. And that's, you know, hoping things go well. If you get a bad streak, it could be longer. And then it drains you of your times 8 commanders. It's not free. So that's another thing. So I've used all that I have on my boosters, and I have really dwindled my stash down that I have been stockpiling. So my stockpile boosters are low. Hey, that's okay. I've traded them for commander points, and my commanders are now beastly, as you can see. So again, just to recap, for myself, and I would say in general, almost everyone is going to score more in toy tanks to some degree, just on the commander points versus commander points. But when you throw in the bonus boosters, or should I say, when we consider Bernie's booster bonus, it's a no-brainer. Toy tanks is #1, and there's nothing that's going to stop it. But if you want to do something different, because maybe you don't like toy tanks, maybe you're not very good in toy tanks versus regular tanks, because they're slightly different skills, and you're going to be better at one than you are at the other. Like I said, I'm better at the 38H, but I'm so good in the toy tanks that it's enough to make it still slightly in my favor. But you could be much better. And that one of the things you could be much better in, which I haven't showed you, are the high tier commander bonus tanks. The Vengeance, tier 8. The Astron Rex, tier 8. The Hollenhund, tier 8. The Eradicator, tier 8, 75% bonus. The Demolisher, tier 8, 75% commander bonus. And the Earthshaker, tier 8, 75% commander bonus. Those tanks might be the best for you. Everybody's different. I don't know. I know for myself, those tanks are hard to score in because you get stuck into bad matches and they take a long time. Those matches are slow and hard to score in. But if you're the right guy, it might be awesome for you. I can't tell you that because I'm not you. Only you can tell you that. So that's, you know, basically what it's about. And of course, there's another bonus that I didn't even talk about. And the silver that you make on the toy tanks dwarfs the silver that you will make or not make in a 38H match. I lose money in 38H. That's just a fact because I use all premiums. I'm not here to goof around. So for me, it's a no-brainer because I'm going to make money and make more points, maybe slightly. And like I said, it's Jackpot Ninja. He gave us the most important phrase, which I would have come to anyway on my own, but that doesn't matter. He had it up front and early, and as soon as he had, he had his comment, I was like, oh my God, dude, this is it. So, give credit where credit is due. Jackpot Ninja drove me to do this, and I'm thankful that I had yet another experienced commander to tell me something that ended up helping me, and it has hopefully, as you guys have seen the videos, helped you as well. So we can thank Bernie and we can thank Jackpot Ninja for their advice, because the advice they gave is crushingly good, and it just makes it so easy to come up with the answer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, found this really more helpful than enjoyable, because if this helps you, it's going to help you get more points and more silver and more bonuses faster than any other way you can do it. So the other thing I was going to tell you, on the bonuses, the ×2 silver bonuses, don't consume them. Save them like a miser, because when silver with interest shows up, you want to have ×2 silver boosters, and you want to combine them with ×3 or higher vehicle boosters, because when you put a ×2 silver booster like this, let me show you. When you do this, look on the right, you see the vertical rectangle. ×5 commander of a ×5 vehicle booster with a ×2 silver booster. In silver with interest operations, when that comes up next, this combo that you see when silver with interest operations occur, this combo that you see, the ×5 vehicle and the ×2 silver booster, is a monster. I have made a million silver in a game with this combo more than once. I have made 2 million in a game more than once. And one time I made 3 million silver in one game of Cold War. But that's the key. I made a fortune. In fact, in silver with interest, I was able to jack my stash up over 100 million. It was nasty. So I save these. I don't waste them, because that operation is devastating. I need money now. Doesn't matter. Find something else. Go play Cold War. Use a high silver earning tank like a Bandit, which was the free one from the season. The Condor, which is the M636. Those are 65% silver bonus earners. They make a lot of silver. Use one of those tanks, whatever. Use something else if you got it. T95E3 is very good. 4211 is outstanding. There's all kinds of stuff you can use. I use an Armadillo that's also outstanding. Whatever floats your boat. So go make your money elsewhere, but save those boosters, because the ×5, ×4, ×3 vehicle boosters combined with ×2 silver, you'll make monster money if you have a monster game in those matches. So I hope you've enjoyed this again, but really I hope you learned something. And that's really what I'm after, is trying to show you something that's going to help you forever. Please leave a like for this video to help spread the word. Please tell your friends so they can understand this as well and realize how they can take advantage of this weekend to max out their silver and their commander points in toy tank mode. And maybe they'll leave a like or subscribe. So I got more stuff to do. Obviously the weekend is coming up. I want to get this done so I can publish this and get this out there so you guys can max it out over the weekend and kick some butt. So I want to wish you guys the best of luck, and I'm sure I'll see you sometime after New Year's, if not before. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys later.